2016, September 5th. And I just want to tell everyone happy Labor Day. I hope you all are having a great holiday, a great day off. If you have a day off, or if you're spending it with family, friends, whatever the case may be, happy Labor Day. I also want to say thank you guys so much for continuing to subscribe to my channel. I know I have been gone for I don't know how long. The last video I put up was very pre-recorded. I just never put it up. So yeah, but I am back. I am here actually with a story time, so y'all stay tuned for this story time. Let me preface this by saying, if you don't like foul language, or I mean, I'm not gonna be like cursing, but I am gonna say a few words because, you know, the situation made me angry. So, but it's not gonna be like sailor cursing, but just a little curse word here and there because that's how I choose to express myself. I am grown, okay? But no, this story time is going to be, I quit my job. I really did, true story. And I am having adult beverage, so, you know, okay? Before I get started, I know I'm going to have questions about what I have on my lips. And I have Dose of Colors. And the color is Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple Rain. Hey, yeah. So this is Dose of Colors. You might not be able to see it. Still trying to figure out this whole ring light thing. This thing is bright, okay? And here is what it looks like. Everybody pretty much knows what Dose of Color looks like. And quick lip swatch. All right, so let's get into this good old story time. So I work for a company. I know I don't talk a lot about like my life outside of YouTube, other than like if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, Twitter, whatever. Like, I don't get too deep into my everyday life just because I've always felt like professional corporate world should be outside of my hobby, which is YouTube. And my face look like it's greasy, y'all, but I promise it's not. It's just these lights and probably the reflection off of my background. So don't be like, girl, your face is oily, because it's not. I got dry skin. Okay. So I work for this company. Like I said, I'm not going to divulge the information as far as like the name of the company, the people who I'm talking about. I'm not going to use their names or anything like that. So none of that. If you know me outside of here, you know where I used to work for, you know all the information, so whatever. Anywho, I started off with this company almost 5 years ago. And I started off as a temp worker in Atlanta. A lot of times when you start, you know, good jobs or, you know, whatever, a lot of times you start off as a temp worker, and in order for you to be able to go permanent, you have to, of course, you know, be on the job a certain amount of time. Like, of course, everybody has their own different standards or rules as far as what it would take for you to go permanent. So of course I met those standards, and 5 years later a year later I made it to being permanent. In this particular position, I work in the healthcare field. I work on the health insurance side. So that's the type of company I was working for. It was doing different audits for different health plans. I was in 6 different departments. Some of them I was permanently in, and some of them I wasn't. I just knew how to do the department, so when they needed help, I helped. The job went through an acquisition, which means that another company bought out my company, and not my company, but the company I was working for at the time. And things just started going downhill. Before, it was a family-oriented company. It was very inclusive. They did different things for the employees. They did things for the families of the employees. And I mean, just like, you know, holidays or birthdays or whatever, like they made sure to let you know that you are appreciated. Once we got bought by the other company, it was a rather large company, so they weren't as inclusive because there were different locations around the United States and some offshore. And it just started going downhill. Like, they let the person who was there before they sold the business, they let her completely take over, and yeah, that's when it all went downhill. I stayed in the position that I was in 3 years, two and a half, 3 years, and I was happy, but I knew that I needed more money. It wasn't just about the money, but corporate America, like, I'm gonna need you to run me my coins. If I went to school and got a degree for this stuff, let me run my coins. Not only that, but it was just a lot of stuff that just wasn't right, like favoritism, but you're gonna go through that. It was just a lot going on, and I became depressed. Like, all jokes aside, I became really, really depressed. I know a lot of people say you're not supposed to take your home life to your job. I was doing the opposite. I was bringing my job to my home life, which was the depression and just like always like upset about something that happened at work. Something happened every single day. Sometimes, you know, it was more easy to forget, or not forget, but more easy to kind of let it roll off my back, and some things it wasn't, because some of those things directly targeted me. So I had to file complaints with like upper HR. I had to they had to investigate some things going on, and that's part of the reason why I'm still not able to say like a whole lot, but it is what it is. Basically, I was denied an increase because of a phony report. It was some stuff going on like that. People didn't like me because I'm very, very black and white. I'm not gray. Like, I won't sit there and let you tell me that what I'm doing is wrong, but I'm the only one in this department that does what I do. So you can't tell me that I'm doing it wrong because you don't know what I do. So, you know, I guess being the educated, now don't get me wrong, the whole company pretty much was majority African American, black people. There were, you know, white people that worked there as well. There was some of everybody that worked there, but the majority of the job was African American. So I'm not going to pull the race card because it's nothing to do with race. It's a lot to do with women not wanting other women to be empowered, not wanting other women to, you know, be able to make the moves that they've once been given the opportunity to make. And that's where the issue came. I'm the type of person, I don't like to be stunted as far as my growth. I crave knowledge, I crave to learn more, which is hence why I was in 6 different departments at this particular job, and it took a toll on me. So the purpose really of this story time is just to let you all know like what I was going through, why I wasn't on here. Like I said, I'm very black and white. I am not gray at all, so I could not get on this camera and pretend like everything was great and my life was wonderful. And don't get me wrong, everything outside of my job is wonderful. So it had nothing to do with, you know, my relationship, my kids, any of that. It had everything to do with my job. So bringing it back to that, 2.5 years, I was in the department I was in, 2.5, almost 3 years. I was in the department I was in, and we lost a supervisor and our team lead. So there was 4 people in the department, and it went down to 2. So me and another one of my coworkers. The other coworker became the team lead, and I was just still an auditing associate. Even though, like I said, I was happy with that. Like, I wasn't trying to be in management. I didn't want to supervise nobody. Like, I didn't want to do anything. None of that. So, after 2.5 years, we finally got a manager. And this manager came in, and she was a sheep in wolf's clothes. Is that the correct term? So, yeah, she came in acting like, you know, oh, I'm all for black women empowering each other, and let's hug it out, and let's find out what's going on. I'm gonna help you. And fake people a mile away. So I saw the fakeness all over this lady, okay? So she claimed to be saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. However, yeah, we'll let God handle that and judge that, okay? Anyways, no, she just started, you know, I guess the big dogs or the big wigs had kind of gotten into her head, and she just became this totally other person that I just could not get along with. Like, I don't do nitpicky stuff. Like, if I come to work and I do my job and I do it very great, I'm gonna need you to leave me alone. Thanks. So anyways, I lasted with this manager about maybe 6 weeks. I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I had to go. So I started, you know, looking for another job. I started like applying different places. I even applied to go to different departments within the job, because before, when you apply, you just have an interview with that manager. If they like you, and they choose you, and if they don't, they don't. But now, being that not we no more, boo boo, because I don't work there no more, you feel me? Okay, sorry. Now the way that they do it is, if you're an internal applicant, you have to go through a recruiter, and the recruiter is all the way in California. So you have to have like 4 phone interviews, and you have to go interview face to face, you know, with the people upstairs in the Alpharetta. If you're familiar, it's in the Alpharetta department. Like, you have to go upstairs and do all this extra stuff. Well, I have been blocked from 4 different positions, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that I was highly well qualified for, because the job that I did and the departments I was in, I had enough experience. So that's another reason why, like I said, y'all excuse that in the background. My wife is in the background doing some techie stuff, so excuse that. And she just dropped it again. My bad. That's okay, babe. So anywho, I was blocked from getting 4 different jobs, and I'm telling you all this for a reason, because this is kind of like a motivational story as well. And I just started feeling down, because I felt like nobody in that job wanted me to advance. Like, nobody wanted to, you know, continue to allow me to grow within my career and within my company. And you start to feel like, okay, do I really need to be here if y'all not really for me? Like, you say you for me, but you're not, because old girl down the block, just because you homegirls with her, now you've given her the position because y'all are cool. So that's what basically ended up happening. Another one of my friends that actually helped me get on at the job that I was on at that time, she had since, like, she's been gone from that job, like, she only lasted maybe a year and a half. And she hit me up and she was like, hey, my job is hiring, put in your application. I kept procrastinating, y'all, because at my old job, I could come and go as I please. I could literally clock in, work for like an hour, and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Walmart. Oh, I'm about to go to Target. I'm about to go grab something to eat. Like, it was very non-structured as far as like schedules and things like that. As long as you came in, did your job, and did it well, they didn't really question you until, like I said, the new managers came in and tried to like do it. And that's fine, because I know that everybody not supposed to do that anyway, so it's cool. I don't care about that. So I randomly put in an application for another position. I will not be sharing that, because that's where I'm about to start working tomorrow. Praise God, won't he do it? I randomly put in an application, and at this point in time, I was pretty much discouraged. I felt defeated. I felt like I was going to be stuck at the old job forever. I just thought that I'd never move anywhere. Well, I randomly got an email just saying, hey, you know, we'd like to do a phone interview. I'm not saying that I'm not good with phone interviews, but I'm not good with phone interviews. I don't feel. Maybe I am, but I just don't know, because I like to be able to see the person and see their reaction. So I had the phone interview. I literally walked out of my job at the time on my lunch break and did the interview. And then I didn't hear from them for like maybe a week or 2. So I just randomly emailed, just said, hey, I want to follow up, yada, yada, yada. She automatically set me up for an interview to go in to meet with one of the other managers. So I went in for that interview. Everything went great. She asked me like all these questions, and you know, my mother is in the HR field, so the questions that she asked, I was like, this must mean she want to hire me. But I didn't jump to conclusions. I asked my mom. She said, you know, those were good signs. And once again, I didn't hear from them, but only because this particular manager was going out of town the next week. She was going to be on vacation for a whole entire week. And then the recruiter went on vacation a week after that. So I was like, I'm not going to get this job. Being negative. That's exactly what I was doing. Being negative and having a negative attitude and feeling like woe is me and I'm going to be stuck and let me keep crying myself to sleep every night because I'm at this job that I do not like. Once again, why I was not on YouTube, because I could not get on and fake the funk. So I heard from her again. The recruiter finally set me up with the director of the department that I'm going to be working for. And her and I, we were supposed to have a 30-minute interview. It ended up almost an hour over the telephone. So that was awesome as well. And so I was just like, you know, praying like, God, if this job is for me, please give me this job because I need this job. I didn't even know what they paid. I just knew I was trying to get out of my job and they were going to pay me at least a little bit more. Like, I knew that. So I didn't hear from them for a while, and then I left work early one day because I just couldn't take it anymore. I just needed to leave like an hour early. I just needed to get out of there. As I'm driving to my daughter's school, picking her up, I get the phone call. And she's giving me all this information, and the first thing I heard her say was, no, she asked me, she didn't ask me nothing, y'all. She told me that they were gonna offer the job to me. After that, the only thing I heard was womp, 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 because my head was everywhere. Then when she told me what they were gonna pay me, it really went down after that to a womp, 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 because I was just thinking about God had delivered me and I am moving up and forward because Lord knows I needed it. So I called my mom, I'm crying. I called my wife, I'm crying, I am crying, like I lost it. So what I did was I was going to work my 2 weeks out at my other job, but they got on my damn nerves. So, you know, a resignation letter was typed up, and needless to say, when I went into work, I was gonna work through that whole entire week, but I ended up not doing it because when I gave my resignation letter, I realized that I had some PTO time, so I was able to take 2 weeks off with pay. Ain't God good? So, you know, that is pretty much my story time. I did quit my job, but I ain't quit my job to sit at home on the couch and not do nothing other than take my 2 weeks off with pay. But you know, tomorrow starts a totally new journey for me, like a totally new journey. And like I said, even though I'll still be in the same field, of course it's going to be for a totally different company, and I'm going to be paid what I am worth. Praise God. Okay. But like I said, this is just to encourage someone, like if you feel like you are stuck and you don't know what's getting ready to happen, I made a vow to be positive. Like anything that came out of my mouth, it had to be positive. If it wasn't positive, I was not saying it, because I really was being negative. Like everything was negative. Everything was negative. I'm not gonna lie. Even my friends and my wife and everybody around me was like, can you stop with the negativity? Like everything that comes out your mouth is negative. And that's not me. Like I'm usually bubbly and, you know, excited about life, but child, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, bump all of this. I'm done. I'm being negative. I'm gonna be the negative Nancy. But I tried to change it around, and I did, and I spoke positive affirmations. I got up every morning and spoke positivity into my life, and more positive things kept coming back to back to back to back to back. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like you don't know what's getting ready to happen or what's going on in your life, I encourage you, even if you don't pray or you're not religious or whatever the case may be, just speak positivity. It don't even have to be about, you know, oh Lord, just do it for me, Jesus. That's whatever comes out of your mouth is gonna become your reality, and I really learned that. So, like I said, if you have anything that you want that's positive in your life, just speak it over yourself, and I guarantee you things will start to turn around. So that is my story time. The next time I come with a story time, it's probably not gonna be like this, because I have kind of some ratchet story times. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, for subscribing. And I am actually getting ready to do one of the things that you all love on my channel, which is a plus size haul for starting a new job. So stay tuned. Talk to you guys later. Bye.